Okay, let's do some practice problems for our Chapter 5 quiz tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having a quiz, Chapter 5 quiz practice. And the quiz is on lessons 4 through 7. So mostly what we're doing is we're adding decimals here. So let's see. Here's our first practice problem. 0.67 plus 0.38. Now my most important thing that I'm doing here is making sure my decimal points are lined up on top of each other. Doesn't really matter if I have the same amount of digits in each of these. It really just matters that I put my decimal points on top of each other. So can you work this one out, please? And let me know what you get for 67 hundredths plus 38 hundredths. What did you get, Giovanni? 1.05 is correct. Here's how we got that. 7 plus 8 is 15. Put the 5 down. Carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. Put the 0 down. Decimal point down. Carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1 and 5 hundredths would be the answer here. Okay, next one. Let's try 1.04 plus 1.35. And let me know what you get when you have an answer. Eddie, what do you have? 2.39 is correct. Okay, we made sure that we lined up our decimal points. And when we added, 4 plus 5 is 9, 0 plus 3 is 0, 1 plus 1 is 2. Decimal points stay in line the whole time. Good job. All right, next one. 5.93 plus 10.42. So I have an uneven amount of digits here. I have more digits in my bottom number, 10.42, than I do in my top. I could just, leave this blank, or what else could I do there in front of the 5 so that it had the same amount of digits? Alex?
Add a 0.
I could just put a 0 in if I want to have a placeholder. If I'm not comfortable with that open space there, I can add a 0. Okay, and let me know what you get. How would you get? We got 16.35, so 16 and 35 hundredths. Let's see. 3 plus 2 is 5. 9 plus 4 is 13. Put the 3 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. Plus 0 is 6. And 0 plus 1 is 1. Great job. So what property do I see here with this 5 plus 0? 5 plus 0. What property is that? Gabby? Very good. Identity. Okay. Problem number 4. Also, uneven amount of digits. So I'll write it like this, and then you choose to do what you want. 0.7 or 7/10 plus 0.33 or 33 hundredths. 0.7 plus 0.33. Remember, the most important part is your decimal places lining up. Then let me know what you get. Andrew, what did you get?
1.303.
Okay. It's important that you remember to say that 0 because 1.3 is totally different, right? Good. 1.03 or 1 300ths. Let's see what we did here. 0.7 plus 0.33. I have to make sure my decimal points are lined up. If I'm not comfortable with this space here, I can add a 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. Decimal point in line with the others. 0 plus 1 is 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, let's do 2 more. Okay, this one I have 11.04 or 11 400ths plus 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Let me know what you got. Ronald, what did you get? 11.29. Good. 11 and 29 hundredths. Okay. So I'm making sure I am keeping everything in line. Again, if I don't like that there's an unequal amount of digits, I can put a 0 here. 4 plus 5 is 9. 0 plus 2 is 2. Decimal point stays in line. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. All right, the last one is going to be a question about different property types. So today we learned 3 addition properties. So we'll just do like a quick jot of examples. You guys already took notes on this, so you don't have to write it down. But just for the video, I want to make sure there's an explanation of all the different properties. So the first property we're going to talk about on here is the identity property, and that is any number plus 0 equals itself. So that would be 5 plus 0 equals 5, or 6 plus 0 equals 6, or anything plus 0. It's like that 0 is a mirror. It's looking in the mirror, seeing its identity on the other side. The next property is the associative property. And what are we always going to remember the associative property has? Remember the winky face we made in our notes? Associative property always has, remember? Gabby? Good. Associative property, we always think of parentheses. So we're going to think like how the numbers are grouped together doesn't change the sum. So if I want to group together like 5 plus 6 plus 2 over here, it's the same thing as if I did 2 plus 5 and then added the 6 over here. The sum is not going to change there. And then the last one we talked about is the commutative property, which just means that no matter what order you write the numbers in, you're going to get the same sum. So like 3 plus 2 plus 7 is the same thing as 7 plus 3 plus 2. All right. This is just giving a name to something that you might just do automatically, like mentally in your head. Like for me, and this is going to be our last example, write this one down. Number 6. it's a two-stepper. First, I want you to find the sum, but that's the easy part. Then I want you to tell me like what property you use to find this, and I want you to try to find it mentally in your head. So the problem is this: 13 plus 29 plus 7. There's two properties you could use here. You just have to tell me like your explanation. Who can solve this in their head? Okay, then you're going to tell me how. So Vincent, can you just tell me how you would solve this in your head?
I would add all of the numbers up and then subtract them, then like switch them around.
Okay, you would switch them around. So what would you put together first?
7 and 13.
Yeah, me too, right? Because what does that give you?
20.
Yeah, I know that 13 and 7 are going to give me 20. Or 3 and 7 are always going to give me a number that's like a multiple of 10. So that's easy for me. 13 plus 7 is 20. And then what would you do, Vincent?
Add the other number on top of it.
Okay, and add the other number on top of it. Then 29 becomes pretty easy to add to 20 mentally, right? It's like 20 plus 20 plus 9. What'd you get, Mohammed? 49, exactly. So what property, can you tell me, what property does it look like Vincent used? If I wrote down what Vincent said, parentheses 13 plus 7, end of parentheses, he grouped those together first, and then added 29 to that. What property did he use? Jocelyn? Yeah, he used the associative property. You could also say that he used the commutative property if I didn't put parentheses in there, but I still just reordered them, and I did 13 plus 7 first and then 29. It's the same thing either way. I chose to write it with parentheses, but commutative would be the same thing without the parentheses. Okay, does anybody have any questions about that? This is our Chapter 5 quiz review.